경향신문은 앞으로도 더 나은 미래를 위한 고민과 노력을 소홀히 하지 않겠습니다. 더 많은 관심과 참여를 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
함께 더불어 살아갈 때 우리는 더 높이, 더 멀리 나아갈 것입니다. 정부는 국민과 함께 성장하는 나라, 온 국민이 골고루 잘 사는 나라를 만들기 위해 최선을 다하겠습니다.
올해 경향포럼은 더 나은 미래 불평등을 넘어라는 세계와 한국의 가장 절박한 문제를 주제로 선택했습니다. 더구나 그 주제에 정통하신 세계적 석학들을 모셨습니다. 그래서 저는 이 포럼에 매우 높은 기대를 걸고 있습니다.
정말 이 3만 불이라고 하는 숫자의 이 문제가 아니고 저는 이런 방향의 문제라고 생각하는데요. 이런 좋은 논의들이 이루어지시기를, 성공적으로 이 포럼이 끝나시기를 진심으로 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
Speech by Joseph Stiglitz, winner of the 2001 Nobel Prize in Economics and professor of Columbia University.
In fact, in many ways, Korea's problems are not in any way as severe as those in the United States. But to me, the biggest difference between what is going on in Korea and what is going on in the United States is that Korea is committed to income of the bottom 90% of America. And what you see is that there's been no growth.
첫 번째 세션 주제는 증폭되는 위험, 불평등과 갈등입니다.
So the person who wrote that is Adam Smith. It comes from The Wealth of Nations. And as Joe said, Adam Smith was writing at a time when modern capitalism was only really beginning. But he understood very well the role of rent-seeking and what rent-seeking could do to destroy people's lives. Don't let it happen here. Thank you very much.
From my apartment in Manhattan to JFK Airport 15 hours earlier, it was constant construction on the highway. It's about the same length in distance, but it takes twice as long to get to the airport. Quantiles, but in 2014. So you notice now that the top 1% have gone from controlling 16% of the income to 20% of the. In 1954, a little over a third of American workers were unionized.
The market fundamentalists might still argue that the market forces and the productivity growth are the only way to foster growth and improve distribution. But I want to say this. Once upon a time, Albert Einstein, I don't know whether it's precisely the Albert Einstein said or not, but it is often credited to him. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I think enough is enough. And if we really want different results than what you're getting, then we have to try different approaches.
반 정도만 대학교 진학했고 나머지 친구분들이 대부분 이제 소기업에 들어가거나 마을에 있는 소기업에 들어가거나 아니면 부모님이 운영했던 회사에 들어가거나 아니면 또 일을 시작하려고 하는 그런 친구들 많아요. 그러면 친구들이 아는 사업은 사실 원래 생각하고 계시는 큰 투자를 받고 거창하게 성장하는 그런 IT 벤처나 그런 회사들이 아니고 정말 자기만 살 수 있는 그런 월급 벌어주는 일들이에요.
이번 세션 2에서는 공존사회를 향한 다양한 시도라는 주제로 함께하시겠습니다.
Entsprechend wichtig ist die Weiterbildung. Weiterbildung, Weiterbildung. Zukünftig und verlorene und gewonnene Arbeitsplätze, sie variieren von Land zu Land, aber der größte Wandel ist in den fortgeschrittenen Volkswirtschaften zu erwarten. Meine Damen und Herren, nachher in der Panel-Diskussion werden wir noch über die Wiedervereinigung reden. Ein Thema, das ich Korea sehr wünsche. Sie kennen das Thema in Deutschland mit der deutschen Wiedervereinigung. Ich glaube an eine gute Zukunft Ihres Landes. Vielen Dank.
Word is meant to modify not mainly the distribution of income, but also the distribution of bargaining power. And one day, perhaps, when the basic income will be higher enough, well, the people who clean our toilets in our universities, in our hotels, will be better paid, will need to be better paid for that job than people like me who do this sort of job for reasons that are intrinsic to the job than just for the pay. And that will simply be greater justice and part of a better, more fair future. But there are many intermediate steps to make before, and these steps we shall make more easily if we have a good sense of direction after due reflection, and if we have the force, therefore, more force, more strength in order to move in that direction. Thank you for your attention.
I was strongly advocating Japan should introduce continental European style of education. And Prime Minister Abe has took over our ideas. Now, Tokyo Metropolitan Government in Japan is providing free benefits up to high school. And Japan will introduce lowering the tuitions for university students. And I hope that the equal opportunity for everybody to equal education will also create the homogenized society in the world. So today I talked about Japanese experience, and Korea is the second country who is following Japanese aging population. So I hope Japanese lessons can be learned a lot by Korea, and hope Korean economy and all Asian economies will recover very well. Thank you very much.
Please go out there and try to be part of the movement to encourage and increase the speed of the rise of this movement in mindfulness. And for those of you who are not yet convinced, well, keep an open mind. So on that note, once again, I thank you very much for having me here today. And I want to also thank all my fellow panelists or speakers who have given me a lot of insights, and most of all to the organizers, to Mr. Naoyuki Lee and Amy and all who are here today, and of course the audience for having given such patience to all of us to share this stage, to share our thoughts. So on that note, 감사합니다.
큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
I am with the moderator of this session. This is the last session.
Starting by focusing on the beyond inequality, because inequality is usually understood as inequality of income or wealth between households.
This universal basic income as relieving governments of the responsibility of creating jobs.
One of the things I liked about the universal basic income that Philippe did not talk about very much except at the very end is compared with many of the welfare schemes that we see today.
Ich würde das Grundeinkommen nicht einführen. Ich glaube, Arbeit hat eine solche Bedeutung, so viel Sinnstiftung.
한국 정부가 불평등 해소를 위해서 개입을 확대할 경우에 세계 시장에서 경쟁하는 한국 기업의 원가가 높아지고 경쟁력도 낮아지고, 그럴 경우 나아가서 기업 규모나 고용 규모도 줄어들게 되고, 그렇게 될 경우 불평등 해소에 오히려 역행할 가능성이 있다는 지적이나 우려도 있습니다.
I'm not very worried about that. First of all, competitiveness is determined mostly by exchange rates, and the exchange rate we would say will adjust and ensure that you remain competitive.
기존의 노조와 대학 교육 문제를 과거의 방식으로 격차에 대한 문제, 교육에 대한 매칭 이런 걸로 과연 일자리 문제가 많이 해결될 수 있는 건지.
I mean, I'm glad you said something. I think we've been a little too positive today in talking about unions. And there are downsides to unions too, one of which you've raised. And also for someone like me who thinks of inequality in terms of rent seeking, unions are dangerous territory because unions are rent seekers too.
불평등을 넘어 오늘 함께해 주신 여러분 다시 한번 드디어 올해 사장님과 촬영 한번 부탁드리겠습니다.